Morning everybody, Treuil Montegue here with CLEARBLAST. Hope everybody's having a happy quarantine Friday. I was supposed to be out on the road for March, April, and May doing a lot of pro days and demos, and since that's kind of shut down, I figured I'd film a little bit of a video and tell everybody about the equipment that we were going to be bringing out to everyone, and that is the CLEARBLAST 150. The wet abrasive blasting unit that was created by CLEARBLAST with special interest from you, the blaster, in mind. And we have redesigned a unit that we feel is not only the best on the market, but also the most versatile, easy to use, and mobile piece of equipment that you can find today. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little introduction to the unit. Here's our control panel. On the left side, we've got your pot operations, which are to pressurize and fill the pot, switch to blast for blasting with the pot, and then depressurize when you actually are wanting to refill your pot. Come here, you've got your abrasive dose. We've got green to red on everything, going from least to most, and this is just how much media output is brought through the machine. You got your blast pressure, which right here your blast pressure knob adjusts from blasting at 30 psi up to 120 psi. You've got your emergency stop. Push that in case you've got any kind of emergencies and need to stop the blaster. Hit that guy. And then right here we've got our blast functions, which are to rinse down, to dry off, and to blast with a slurry. Then down here we've got actually CLEARBLAST setup and operating instructions. Got a nice little quick start guide right there. Then if you actually want to watch some videos, we've got some good scan barcodes right here that you can just scan with your phone and watch. Up here we've got a little, as they like to call it, setting and application suggestions, and that tells about the pressures that you can use, the different blast medias that we've got that you also can use on different applications, and pressure ranges that we suggest. All that's pretty cool. Right here we've got our blast pot, which we've got a nice little cover for it, and also kind of a little strainer here to try and keep out bag particles and everything. Got a floating bung that will, as you pressurize, pop up. Right here we've got our rinse down hose. Be able to use that to rinse all the water in, and we'll show you that here shortly. Well, let's go over here to actually our connections and setup. So we've got your blast hose and your pneumatic controller connection right here. You've got your water inlet, which right now we're going to blast on a little bit of metal, so we've got a rust inhibitor dosing package, which is a nice option that if you plan on doing any blasting with metal, this injects rust inhibitor into our water tank and allows you to hold rust for up to about 48 plus hours before flash rust starts, to allow you to, get a good coat of paint on before something like this ends up happening and you get a rusty mess. Now you've got your air connection right here, and we're running a 1.5 inch line. This is the HV, high volume, so it can take a lot of air and move a lot of product if we need it to. Once you get your air, water, and blast hose hooked up, you're ready to go ahead and start your compressor. So air, water, media. Here's our air right there. Got a Kaiser 375 compressor that we're going to be running. Got our water hose hooked up, and we'll be using a little bit of green diamond blast media today to do some cleaning, since we're going to be cleaning on some heavy rust, and we've got a little bit of clean works as well. All right, so let's take a look here, and we can see that our supply air is set up at almost 120 psi, so that's good. We've got our water tank filled up. We've got our indicator up there so we can tell that it's filled. Got our air hose hooked up, and our whip checks on everything. What we want to first do is put a little bit of water in our blast pot, so when we put our media in, it's saturated fully at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and go to pressurize first to get some water in there. Once we get some water in the bottom of the pot, then we're going to put a little bit of blast media in. We don't have a big job, so we'll probably just put about half a bag in. That'll do us plenty good. Now we've got our blast media added, so we're going to come over here and we're going to go to pressurize. Okay, as you can see, our pot pressure is set at 130 psi. Now, what that'll do is it'll self-adjust when we are setting our blast pressure. So if we want to blast at 60, it'll self-adjust. If we want to blast at 80, 100, 120, it's going to allow us to do all that, and the pot pressure gauge will take care of that. Then we've got our abrasive dose, so we're at 0 right now. So I think what we're going to do is probably come about 3/4 of a turn. We're going to, with air only, we're going to set our blast pressure here. So now we've got our blast pressure set at around 80 psi, and we're going to go from air to slurry blast. And now we're ready to blast. So I'm going to take that little piece of old farm plow plate. Found it buried at his farm this weekend. So it's a perfect little piece for me to clean up for him and show you guys how this works. We've got it blasted off, and I know Ben didn't want it fully cleaned. He wanted it to kind of have a rustic old look still, so we didn't clean all the pitting off, make it still look a little bit old and a little bit cool. We'll go ahead and rinse it off, and it'll be done. We're gonna go from to rinse. So now, my buddy Ben's got a cool, still rustic looking piece of old farm plow equipment. It's cleaned up, no more rust, no more dirt. So we'll go ahead and do the last step, which is to dry it off. We'll switch to air only. So what we also just did was we actually got our system cleaned out and ready to be shut down. When you're wanting to clean your system out, you can go from blast to wash, which then rinses the hose out, and then air dry, which makes sure that everything is flowed out of the hose, and now you're ready to close down the system. Turn your abrasive dose to off. depressurize the pot. After that, you're ready to go ahead and kill your air compressor. We have now shown you a little bit of the CLEARBLAST 150. It's a great machine. As you can tell, it's sitting on my porch. It's definitely not that big. It's easy to get around. It has 4 wheels, so you can wheel it around just about anywhere you need to. It fits inside of all 32-inch doors. A very compact, very powerful blasting machine. Well, I'm Treuil Montegue, and I'm with CLEARBLAST. I hope your family is well. Stay safe in these very difficult, different times that we're facing right now, and let's get blasted.